So after you install a gear reduction, most of the time you're going to have to do is start in gear mod, especially on 300s, because you actually have to remove the piece that indicates when it's in neutral. For most normal purposes, so that's not going to work how it's supposed to, and it won't start and whatever. But I'm not actually going to do it. I'll show you a picture of the second half of it, but I don't have a bike taken apart, and it's kind of a pain to get it to this point. So here's this pretty much parts bike. These will be the CDI wires. There's always two wires, or two little clusters of wires. The green ones, if yours has it, the 98 model to 2000 model does not have these. It just has one single cluster. But in this cluster, you want to find the light green slash kind of bluish wire, which appears to be this one right here. You don't want the dark green. The dark green is something completely different. Anyway, once you have that wire located, these harnesses are just kind of taped up. I like to kind of unravel the tape a little bit until you get them where they're separated nice and good, and then you can try to find an end to this and unravel it. Try not to twist it so much, because these old harnesses are generally pretty brittle. So what you'll do is take the light green slash blue, depending how faded it is, especially if it's been sitting out a long time, and slit this housing up into here somewhere. You don't want to slit it super far, but just far enough to get this wire exposed. And you're going to want to cut it way up in here. Give yourself plenty of room, because you're going to have to either solder or crimp on an end. And then what you do is you strip the wire and either solder or crimp on an end with some more wire. And then there's tons of different places you can run it, but I like to run it right here on 300s. Right here works just fine under this bolt. And after you just make sure it's nice and clean, and that takes care of the CDI. So basically, the CDI will let it spark at any time, whenever it's in gear or not, because it thinks it's always in neutral now. And then second, the next thing you gotta do is the starter solenoid, or you can do it a little bit different way, which I don't like to. And by the way, the starter solenoid is normally right here, but I took it out of this bike because I needed it. So now the second part of this is you have to take the starter solenoid, which is it's kind of a darker green, but it's not that dark, slash red wire. It's got a red stripe. You can see it right there. Take it, slit it, do the same. I like to just rip this back and pull it back like this, and then the easiest thing to do for me is just put a small extension on it and put it directly on the negative terminal of the battery, and then that fixes that one. The other way you can do it, if you want it to be a little cleaner in your battery box area, is down here by the motor. You have the other end of them wires, and you can see this one's been done at some point in time. But the connection for that wire, it's in this little cluster here. It's the same wire. It's kind of a darker green with a red stripe. You can ground it to one of these bolts, but I don't like doing it because that just leaves that much more of a connection that can go wrong. And after you've got that done, you will notice, unless yours just doesn't work to begin with, like all mine except for this one, your neutral light will stay on all the time no matter what. See, it's on right now, and then it's still on. And there's neutral again. So that's one drawback if you don't like that, but you can just take the bulb out and it won't matter. But I know that I didn't really explain this the best I possibly could have, and hopefully I also will be having videos a little bit more frequently than what they were, at least hopefully once a week, maybe more, maybe less. Really, it's kind of hard to say, but that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed.